Right, still in joystick port 2. Good. Now, Flying Saucers. I believe this is a modern game from this century. We're going to be playing Hellfire. Hellfire, I do believe, was also on the Amiga and probably the ST and Amstrad CPC and ZX Spectrum. I can't remember who does it. Could be Tynesoft, could be Anco, people like that. But yeah, sort of like Afterburner in a helicopter. And no, that doesn't mean it's Thunderblade. Now we've seen First Strike, which is, you know, the kind of quality everyone should strive to for a full price game. And, you know, there's things like MiG-29, which I believe was either £1.99 or £2.50 by Codemasters. Both of those are better than Afterburner, which is a 10 quid official conversion. I guess Sega didn't give a fuck about what Activision were shoving out the door straight from their arseholes. Fucking assholes. Indeed, definitely a bunch of arseholes in the later days. There was no quality control at Activision. Oh, hang on a minute. Thank fuck for that. That might get picked up as JMJ on the old copyright. Let's hope his joystick put to. CRT glasses, hang on a minute, mate. Right. Arcade Systems, are they the people that program this? Right, it's Martech, there you go. 1988, I'm getting a bit of glare on these cheap shit plastic lenses. Anyway. The old flashing lines, extra 1% for that. No, we said we weren't going to go down that route. Trainers. Yes. 1 to 0. Yes. It's all about the graphics with these games. It's not too bad at the moment. That's pilot controls, which I hate on these kind of games. Maybe I'll get used to it. Okay, I'm playing this on a 14-inch portable, but my eyeballs are about 3.5 feet away from the CRT. But still, although the colours are only 4 colours, which I suppose you have to accept for these kind of games, I believe this game was either £9 or £10. Martech didn't do cheap games. Well, not on their full price though. I don't know if they had any budget development at all. I don't really care, to be honest. Most of Martech's games are shit. So yes, interesting effect. I'm trying to think if there's a better colour they could have gone with, because well, they need brown for the trunk of the trees. I think the orange background possibly could have been red. Maybe that would have been nicer. Turquoise sky, my favourite. So actually, the horizon goes a bit weird with the, you know, character-based update on the screen. I think you're firing your guns all the time anyway. think that's just missiles, really. Oh, you can actually blow up the stuff on the ground. Well, that might be important later. Maybe they're really going to rip off the, you know, like the landing section of Afterburner. So actually the sprites are a bit underwhelming, but the background graphics are understandable. So I'm going to say it's at least 3 out of 5 graphically. Yeah, let's not confuse with how the graphics move, because that's in the game engine part. Now I think the 3D effect is not too bad actually. The rest of the game's coded just fine. Well, actually the graphics improve. I think we have to go to 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, right, okay. I'm going to go with, we'll see what level 3 is like, but for now, it's 3.5 out of 5. So I'm going to give the game engine a rock solid 25% there. So 25 out of 25. That's what I'm talking about here. So we've got 2.5 for that and 3.5. So we're up to 6.5. Can't remember what the title music was like. It wasn't neither offensive nor memorable. And the sound effects are fine, so that's at least 1.5 there. So we're about 7.5. Is that a fair score for this game? No, hang on a minute, it's 3.5, 2.5, yeah, 6. And then we're saying 1.5 out of 2.5. Well, these bits are quite nice, so let's say 2 out of 2.5. So that's 7.5, and the graphics are still quite nice. So we're going with 8 out of 10. 80%, 8 out of 10, however you want to take that. So the game is insanely difficult, which, you know, games like this usually are. You're going to knock it down, yeah, no, up to 2 out of 10 in increments of half out of 10. So yeah, I think I have to hear the high score music again, which is a bit annoying now for the review. I can't actually remember the high score. Mind you, if it was brilliant, you know, like Rob Hubbard, David Whittaker, favourites of mine, that sort of, then I would have left it going anyway. So I think the scores are fine. And it is a full price game, so, you know, we have to bear that in mind. Yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is fine. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I reckon that's a fair score for this game, because the graphics are going a bit funny here again. So I know what they're trying to do. It's like night time. You know, there's not that many things you could do. I mean, you could still use brown, but I do believe there's only black, blue and turquoise going on there. Yeah. Why would they only have those colours? I suppose then you only have to do a single poke, so it must be the 2 fixed multicolours that they're using and nothing else, and black is the background. Unless blue is the background up there, in which case they should have done something slightly different with the sky, maybe grey, darkest grey. Yeah. Yeah, I think 7.5 to 8 out of 10 is a very fair score. for me. I mean, the fact that the scenery is destructible as well. I mean, it's definitely 2.5 out of 2.5 for the game engine. Oh, that's a bit weird. Something weird going on there. Is it meant to be like the tunnel in, sorry, the canyons in Afterburner? I think it is actually. You've got no collision on, so you keep your finger on the button and well, actually you don't have to even have your finger on the button, you'll blow up the stuff with the machine guns anyway. So lack of weapons as in missiles could be a problem, so yeah, I think 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for this game is absolutely fine. Now, considering I expect something much nicer than anything remotely like Afterburner on the Amiga was released. You know, this game, if it is the one I'm thinking of that come out on the Amiga as well, that would not get 8 out of 10. Because my scores are all based on what the you know, the C64 hardware is capable of, and it's not too bad a job, I have to say. I mean, they could have gone with orange instead of grey there for the background. Not sure how they're doing that. Yeah, missiles work fine. Yeah, everything seems to work fine. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be blowing stuff up on the ground. So we're above the clouds now. So they look a bit weird now because of the way the diagonals have to be drawn. But you have to bear in mind that's how the diagonals have to be drawn. That there's no other way you could do this at this sort of speed. It wouldn't be worth doing it any other way. If it's going to end up running at you know, a few frames per second. It seems to be running at a fair old chop actually. So yeah, 4, 6.5. Yeah, I'm going to go for 8 out of 10 on balance. Possibly it could go down to 7.5 or 7 out of 10 if it's stupidly difficult. Okay. So with the zip stick, rapid fire on, it works really well actually. As soon as you get a lock on, the missile's fired. So as long as you've got rapid fire on the joystick, that helps too actually, because it won't fire a missile and waste a missile. Yeah, no, I'm going to say this is at least 7.5 out of 10. If you're shit at the game, you're going to have to practice. I think it's quite fair. Oh, these are interesting colour choices now. I'll try not to blow things up on the ground, so you can enjoy the nice desert graphics there. They're as good as the graphics of Journey on the PS3. Yeah, if you believe that, you believe anything. But for the time, chronologically adjusted. Yeah, so my chronologically adjusted scores, so we have to take everything into account. I'm going to say at least 7.5 out of 10, possibly 8 out of 10 with the trainer options all disabled. Yeah, I quite like this actually. I'm glad the camera's still working because I'll probably never play it again. But it probably looked really good on the old 120-inch projector screen. Actually, the sound effects for the helicopter are fine as well. Yeah, I think squeezing the sound into like 25% is difficult because you've got in-game regular music and sound effects. Now I think the other level worked a bit better. Still, it's not bad. Yeah, I'm quite impressed actually. I was expecting it to be a lot worse than this. A hell of a lot worse. Like Activision and Sega's official Afterburner conversions. That's probably why there was so much piracy. If I bought Afterburner, unless I was a thick cunt who had a ZX81 like fucking 2 years before that, I'd be like, no, this is shit, mate. I know the C64 can do better than that. I played Skyfox. Now Skyfox is the closest to the C64 having something like Rescue on Fractalus that the Atari had. Because that is something special on the Atari. It's alright on the C64, but Skyfox is actually very impressive, and it's a 1984 game. So I don't know what level we're actually on at the moment. The first lot of graphics weren't these colours, but they did look like this, so there is a bit of repeating. So yeah, no, I think 7.5 out of 10. 753.29. If you want to go to that sort of degree of talking bollocks like Ace Magazine. Nah, I think this is 7.5 out of 10 game. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I mean, you do get points for prizes and blowing up trees, apparently. Yeah, they probably should have found a way of doing green and dark green, or light green and green, however you want to think about it on the C64. Because, you know, yellow and brown trees, they don't really go, mate. They don't really go. You'd be better off with red. You know, nice autumnal orange and red and black. So I don't know how many levels we've done now. I don't think it actually says. So, I know, actually, there it is right there. Level 01. Yeah, that's it. Because the next lot of graphics were turquoise and blue and that. Yeah, anyway. So I don't know what the background colour is, because black might be the background colour, but that'd be a weird way of doing it if you're drawing in the blue bits all the time. Yeah, it's more impressive than Battle Chopper. It's a later game, but no, that's yeah. So 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Scientifically derived review scores by Mad Commodore.